Okay, so this is the program that's going to be running the code to make the Mayan calendar, Mach 3, and you can see on the top right that's what it's going to look like, hopefully, at the end of the day. So the machine is controlled by that software, and this is the machine. So this, before it's getting running, it has two long rails up in the air. That's what we call X, and then this carriage is going to move back and forth along that, and of course there's one on the other side as well. On the back side of the carriage you can see the motor. That motor drives that shaft, which moves the sprocket and then pulls the carriage along the X chains. There's another motor on the far side there that's winding this chain here, and that's doing a big loop, and it pulls the carriage along in the Y direction. And then to move the Z, we've got a motor up on top, and this motor on top turns a screw, and the turning screw then moves this carriage, and the carriage moves the rotor. We've got this long black tube which is doing the vacuum attachment. On the bottom we have the dust shoe. That's the actual cutting bit that I'll be working with. This dust shoe attaches to the bottom of this piece with some magnets that you can just see on the bottom there. These are stolen from a hard disk drive. These just align this piece so it sits in the right place, and the magnets grab the heads of these bolts to hold this piece in place. So that just goes like that and should just clip in place just so easily. There we go. Okay. So the motors, all three of them, are then wired up to a terminal block, and then the cables go up. You're going to get blinded by the light. Up top is the controller, electronics on the wall, and a computer that's driving the code, and that's what's going to make this whole thing run. Okay? So if everything has been done right, the work piece, which is a piece of MDF, 3/4 thick MDF, has been fastened down with some clamps to the table that are running in these grooves. Okay, and so hopefully that's not going to shift as the cutter does its work. Okay, let me pause for one last check to see that everything's okay. That actually didn't work because the router wasn't plugged in, but now it's all powered up, and so we should be ready to go. Again, the first thing that'll happen is the router will move and then turn on. So we try again. We still have a long way to go through. This is what it's starting to look like. Okay, coming in. I'd say it's about halfway through now. I had to move one of the clamps out of the way. But I could do with that without stopping it. Still some unfinished business. And in the middle, of course, has to be done all the way. Okay, it's done the patterning, the V carving, and so now let's see what we've got. Fellow in the middle looks okay. The patterns look pretty good. There's a bit of a problem on the edge here. You can't see it, but there's a lip there about a piece of paper thickness that's not there on the outside, on this side. So I'm not sure what that is. It's pretty small though. It starts here and is only on this, so it's only on this side of that major cut, and it may be in the pattern itself. I don't know. I'll have to look at that. But I think that looks pretty good. Okay, total time on that was 3.5 hours. Now we're going to do the cutout, just using a straight end mill bit with some tabs to keep it in place, and then we'll call it a day. So this is after 2 coats of sealer spray and 1 coat of hammer copper, and I think it looks pretty good. The spray actually brings out the differences between the carved and the not carved much better than the sealer did. You can see some traces where it looks sort of silver. For example, right in here and in there. And that silver, I think, is where the sealer did not quite fill in the MDF properly, and it absorbs the paint out of the copper paint. And I'd seen that on the web. That's why I put the sealer in there, to try and prevent that from happening. But I think when we get another layer of the copper on and another a bit of the cherry gel stain, that'll cover that up nicely. So there's this. That's 20 inches. I also took and rounded off the edges by hand so it doesn't look quite so machined. And I relieved the back edge as well, so it's not a sharp connection to the back, and which would fray the MDF.